All right, mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check. Thank you. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Pro Trade Room Plus and the Oil Open and the U.S. Open. My name is Lee Goldstein, the trading director at 10 Minute Trades. Please remember, all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. All right, good morning. Just looking at oil before we started the room. Micro oil on the right, regular oil on the left. Oil open is at 9. This is a 30-minute chart. There was a little bit of news because of something going on in Iraq that they had to shut down a pipeline leak. So that caused a little bit of a pop in oil prices. I would say oil has been negative until that moment. My guess is it'll just return back to being somewhat, it might turn some of the negativity off. Those are things you never know. Ultimately, how news will affect the market over time. It might be a momentary change to the trend, or it might create a new trend. That's what you don't know. Still under 60 on oil. 60 definitely is a magic number. Just out of curiosity, new market analyzer, I think we're still like 15 days until rollover. Oh, it's a week. Eight. Eight. So next week is rollover for oil. So I'm always curious where the volume is. So there's already a moderate amount of volume on the February contract. All right, I've been actually thinking of just putting the YM on the right. I don't seem to ever trade MCL. So that news might be relatively big. All right. On the left is our regular CL contract. Volume is quiet this morning. Other than that momentary blip, volume is pretty quiet. We're starting to come into the holidays, so volume's going to get quieter and quieter. We're going to do less and less trading. That's the way it goes in December. There still will be plenty of big reports that will move the markets. So it's not like everything stops. All right, first things first, as we always say, setting up a reverse continue on the CL chart. Click News Trader, change the breakout to reverse continue. One position, target of 20. Stop of 25. This is discretionary. Label it reverse CL continue, and then choose the account that you're trading it in. And I'm trading this in my funded oil open account. I'll trade other things in this account, but I'm definitely focusing on this trade in this account. So let's turn it on. That's just a reverse continuation. Just out of curiosity, how's that account doing? It's up $589 from 50,000. So it's not bad. Not bad. Now, I did some tech support. I've been doing some tech support about frozen orders. And it's always the same. Every company tries to blame it on the other company. First, I got an answer from Ninja, and I wrote them a very extensive email about orders freezing and all the things we have to do, taskbar shutdown of the platform, uh, as much info as I could give them. And all, and I gotta really say the first response most of the time from Ninja Tech Support is AI. So, you know, it was insulting, but you can't take it personal because that's the way it works. That's the way it works. Um, the first line of defense is AI. Now, while I'm talking, let me set up our range trade. Calvin, I'm up 589. It's a funded account. I'm not revenge trading in that account. I'm really trying to get a payout in that account. That's not a revenge trade account at the moment. Not if I'm building it, right? Let's set up our range trade on oil. Right click strategies, double click news trader, turn it into a range trade. Breakout becomes range, but we're going to go to template, load, and I'm going to look for my oil open, oil new open. Oil new open range, and we're going to right click it, rename it with today's date. Wow, it's Christmas already. 2.5 weeks. This is insane. They'll answer today, Calvin. They don't tech support over the weekend. They'll answer today. Good morning, Roz. All right, our range trade on oil. The range ends at 9:0040. Position 1 is a 1, position 2 is a 1. Target 1 is 8, target 2 is 20. Target 1 stop move, I do a BE minus 4. 15 on the stop. Range starts at 8:59. One tick above the range, one tick below the range. Check, show the range graphics on chart. That's my setup. Don't forget, choose the account you're trading in. And then label the trade. I have it labeled CL range. Apply it and OK it. All right. Make sure your strategy tab is clicked down below up on the control panel here, or you won't see your trades, your strategies. So now I'll turn on the range, and in 10 minutes or so, it'll start drawing our range. Like I said, I'm putting the YM on the right chart. in preparation for the open. YM on a 30-second chart, 30-minute chart. Very, very quiet morning. Tight consolidation. May not take a trade on the YM, we'll see. That's really tight. Are we getting ready? I think we're getting ready to roll our YM and our NQ. Let's do a quick check. Tools,
Chinese and German foreign
instrument
ministers
lists,
meet in Beijing.
futures,
China's
cat
foreign minister saying Wang Yi meets with
folder,
their German counterpart.
add YM. I think I already did this. YM0326, the next contract. Already added. And Q0326, I probably added that also. Yeah, I added the next month. So Market Analyzer, we're right at rollover. We're really close. If you look at the YM, no, we're not that close. Hang on. Let's see. 7 days, a week, another week, and then we'll roll over next week. All right. So I was telling the story. First response from Ninja was just an AI answer. Not a dumb answer, just a very typical, here's what you do to make sure your Ninja Trader is optimized for best performance. Not an unreasonable answer, but a stock answer that they give anytime you ask them about order issues. And it's, look, you got to make sure that you don't have 80 days of data loading. You want to make sure you don't have a million charts that are generating tick values. There are intelligent things that they suggest. And so I wrote back just explaining, yes, we've been using the platform for many years, and we follow those guidelines and have been, and I do follow those guidelines. I don't have a million charts running in the background. I don't have a million indicators running in the background. Anyway, to make a long story short, they then answered again, but they didn't address the correct situation. So I have to go back and explain that they didn't answer the correct issue. But really, what happens in this situation is they blame Bullinox, and then Bullinox blames them, and that's a state of constant lack of information about what the situation really is. And then I bug our programmer, let him look through the log and trace files, and more often than not, it's a situation of trading when the market is busy. Now, we know it happens almost exclusively when the market's busy. And we also know it happens 80% prop, 15% cash. It is definitely much more of a prop account data issue than a cash data issue. Although we know that to be less true because we're trading less and less cash these days. If you get my meaning, right? Anyway, it's not so simple sometimes getting good quality tech support. It's not simple at all. I think oil looks like it's going to just go back to what it was doing before the news came out, which was more short than long. It's not a guarantee. And then YM for the open, I'm leaning towards a magnet, high of day, low of day. Looks reasonable. And that's what I'm thinking about this morning, not thinking about too much other stuff. It's FOMC week. A lot of times trading is quiet until the Fed does their thing. So you want to, be aware. You want to be aware. FOMC is Wednesday. So that's where we're at this morning. Big football game tonight. Eagles, Rams. Eagles, 2 losses in a row. Fans in Philly, they egged the offensive coordinator's house. I think that was like a week and a half ago. That's just so mean. What's wrong with people today? They egged the guy's house at 3 in the morning. He wasn't even there. Scared his family. What's wrong with people? Did he deserve it? Maybe, but I wouldn't do something like that. I think he's a terrible offensive coordinator, but the team's got a lot of problems. I'm not a football fanatic. I like football. I like, if there's a good game and it's close, like the Green Bay Chicago game was kind of interesting yesterday. I like rooting against the jerks, you know. Like I want Aaron Rodgers to lose every game. I can't stand that guy. And he won yesterday. I think Tomlin has to be fired in Pittsburgh. He's been, decent for so many years. Hasn't won anything big in like 15 years. Sometimes you just got to change it up. It's like me. Maybe I should be fired. Maybe it's enough. Oh, Philly fans. Now, booing Santa, that was 100 years ago, Calvin. That was so long ago. That wasn't even in the current stadium. That wasn't in the current stadium. Now, TJ, I don't have a clue about college football. I don't pay attention to it. Now they've completely ruined all college sports. They're going to have to change the
Effective
transfer
Fed fund
rules,
rate at
or
3.89% on
college
December
sports is
5th
completely
and
destroyed.
3.89% December 4th.
So I think you'll see maybe this year they'll make a transfer rule change. Significant one also. Maybe one transfer only. Um, but they've ruined college football. 1 billion. It's destroyed. It's totally ruined. Um, and then the whole issue of betting. That's another whole. Betting is definitely destroying the integrity of sports. It's a shame. Betting is bad news. That's why it was organized crime controlled betting, because it was bad news. It was never a good thing. I don't know. What do I know? No one cares what I think anyway. So our range is drawing, right? The range is drawing. The oil market opened up. The oil market opened up. Yes, we are trading Oracle earnings.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Don't forget, you got to put your charts on the right
Order
chart.
filled.
Okay, we hit our first target already. I'm expanding to the low of day, trailing to the top of the candle. I'm expanding right to the low. And now if it pulls back on me, it'll take me out. I'm just giving it 2 extra ticks of room. A lot of times what we're seeing in games, Calvin, is not making the spread, you know? What seems like artificial bad behavior regarding the spread. So if it pushes down, I'll trail, but I want it to go down a couple more ticks. I'll just trail one. I'm close already where I feel like it's going to take me out here, but it's always a decision. How much profit do you want to protect, right? How much profit do you want to protect? Chantal, how about 10 o'clock this morning-ish? 10:15. Does that work for you? Okay. 10:15 so I could get ready. I've done some of it.
ExxonMobil and Saudi Aramco, as well as SAMREF, sign a venture framework agreement for a potential SAMREF refinery upgrade and new petrochemical complex.
Francis, let me look at your screen.
Paramount now putting an offer in for Warner Bros. Discovery at $30 a share.
Now I'm going to trail heavily because I think the proper target is the low of the day. I mean, that's the target, and that's where I'm leaving the target.
Order filled.
All right, so it took me out. I'm done with oil this morning. I'm unchecking both my trades. That was easy. That was easy. Um, yeah, you were taking the magnet before me, TJ. Did you do that in a prop account or what? Now, this is why maybe you don't trail so tight. There's a giant sale, TJ. What do you mean you lost it? What do you mean you lost it? You never lose it. You just got to pay. You just got to pay. Unless it was a, if it was funded, then you lose it. Then you do lose it. But they have a good sale right now. It's only $15 a month. It's dead and I'm getting frustrated. I totally understand. Totally get it. Totally get it. I get it. All right. Now, will oil break through the low or will there be a long signal? Here comes the long signal. The low under the, hang on one second. The low, it's not a clean signal yet. Finger trouble. Hey, Doc. So it may be that the price is going to continue going down. It's possible. It is possible. That reverse squeeze signal, I would normally, there's a lot of downward momentum. You don't have to take the first one. You can wait. You can wait. I'm working really hard on those signals. It may really be that the downward movement is finished for a little bit. So one thing you can do, lower risk, you could trade it on MCL if you don't want to give back so much money. Now, similar signals, MCL gave the buy. MCL gave the buy. It's got to be a green candle. Stop. My stop would be below 59 on that if I was going to go long here. It's not that big a stop. Certainly not for micros. It's very manageable. All right, that's not why we're here. Now we have to talk about the US Open. So just curious for silver traders, if the 820 silver trade is choppy, does it carry over to your 930 trade ever, or is it something you're not sure, or whatever? Just curious. This morning you've been hearing rhythmic and CQG problems. I have not seen any issues this morning. All right, everyone. So we're streaming on YouTube. We'll keep the stream going through the market open, everyone. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Yeah, Nitin. I was just curious. I don't know if you can make that correlation really, if it would ever be meaningful or not. Because market opens, the real truth is, even the fact that the market open is working most of the time for us with the MNQ, it's still inconsistent. It's not the same kind of move every day. All right, MNQ on the left, bullish at the moment. Our reverse squeeze signal did work. How many ticks was it worth? Ballpark. It's not that big of a trade. So far, 10. on micros.
According to sources, Kazakhstan plans to supply 50,000 tons of oil from
Not
the
huge, not a
Kashagan oil
huge trade,
field in December
but it
to China
worked.
directly after CPC terminal damage.
That's what I'm interested in. Are the signals good? That's what I care about. How are the signals? All right, I'm just looking through the commentary here. I can't believe the weekend is over already. Where'd it go? I need a month
Paramount's on their all-cash tender to
in the
acquire Warner
sun.
Bros.
I need a
Discovery,
month
and
in the
say the deal
sun.
would combine Paramount Plus
MNQ.
and
All right,
HBO
we have an
Max, similar to
MNQ
the previously
breakout
touted Netflix
for the
bid.
for the U.S. Open, and we watch the YM. Sometimes trade it, and the YM's making new highs. That makes it a little bit trickier. Yeah, it's cold here too. Next week, I take care of the dogs for a month. My daughter goes away. I got the dogs. They're yappy little rats too. All right, so our MNQ, let's put our breakout on. Right now we're bullish. It has not done the magnet yet. Hasn't hit it. The most recent new high was at 820-ish. And it also gave a perfect reversal signal. So it could certainly do another magnet now. It's not quite an hour. First things first, YM will put a reverse continue on the chart. Right click strategy, right click news trader, change the breakout to reverse continue. And just trading one position this morning on the YM, a profit target of 30. And I'll do a stop, 35. Discretionary trade. Label it YM reverse continue. Reverse YM continue. And I'll
Japan Finance
trade
Minister
that
Katayama says
in
discuss supply chains for critical minerals.
29.
This is
One
in a
contract.
meeting with G7 finance ministers.
Apply it, okay it, make sure my chart trader is on the right account,
Netflix shares erased gains, last down spot 35% in the pre-market,
and then we
following
can turn that
Paramount's
on.
offer on
So
Warner
there
Bros.
is a
Discovery.
possible reversal continuation.
White House
I'm
official
not
on an earlier
really
headline saying Trump's aid
looking,
for
I don't
farmers is for
think,
farmers
at
making
an
below
open,
$900,000.
you could do an open breakout. You don't have a great magnet level
So again,
unless
earlier
it
this
goes
morning, a White House
down.
official said that Trump is set to unveil $12 billion aid for farmers hit by the trade
I mean,
war.
there are
And again,
short
Trump now
magnets
saying
available.
this will
You're
be for
going to have to
farmers making less than
travel.
$900,000.
The VWAP
Again, according to a White
is
House official.
it's 50, more than 50 ticks away. Now, that's reasonable on the opens. You could trade a pullback to the VWAP PP magnet. Could happen. So I might set that up. Let's look at the NQ first. So let's set up our reverse continue on the NQ because I know I'm trading the MNQ open. Trade it every morning. Right click strategy, click news trader, reverse continue, 2 contracts, 1 position, discretionary trade, stop is 75, target 40, label
Japan's
it
Finance Minister Katayama told their G7 counterparts that the G7 should establish panels to
MNQ
discuss market
reverse
rules on critical mineral supply
continue,
chains.
and then that goes on our funded account for the market open, 54. Apply it, okay it, put the account on that account, put chart trader on the right account. I did not have my oil on the right account this morning. That's why I didn't see my orders at first till I changed the account. You always have to remember, chart trader needs to be on the account you're trading on. And then we have our MNQ breakout. Right click, strategy, double click news trader. Breakout is already there, but I'm going to load my template. And I'm looking for MNQ new open. Going to right click it and rename it for today's date, 12/8. When you load it, it saves it. And I'm going to activate at 9:29:59, 35 bracket. Going to go with my regular, not super volatile settings. 35 bracket, targets of 25 and 50 this morning. Stop is 100. Target 1 BE to break even if it hits my first target. Trading it in my funded 54 account. This account had been on life support. It's still in pain, serious, serious pain. Trying to think how it got into such serious pain. What did I do? I think I traded an open full size NQ and got killed. I think that's what really hurt it. I don't remember what I did to this account to cause it so much damage. But nevertheless, I got sloppy with a funded account. You don't want to do that. Now, just so you know, let's say you pass an eval with Bullinox and you just let the account sit there, they'll close it. You have to start trading the account. Now, they were nice to me. I had let I have 2 funded accounts right now that I'm trying to build up. And one of them I wasn't trading it. I just wasn't paying attention to it. And they sent me an email. You have 2 days to trade this account. If you don't trade it, we're going to close it. Now, that would be a really stupid way to lose an account. So just make sure that you pay attention. But they were nice enough to send me the email. So our breakout, one more time on the breakout. Let's set the time to 0 so we can check the bracket. So time is 0, but the time is 9:29:59. Bracket is 35. Target's 25 and 50. Stop is 100. Target 1 stop move BE. Break even if it hits the first target. Right now, I'm putting it on sim because I just want to see how wide my bracket is for when the trade triggers. So if it's in sim, your chart trader should be in sim, right?
Order submitted.
And there's a nice bracket. You don't want it too wide. You don't want it like that. Where's your brackets? You can't see them. Now I am going to get rid of the
Order
vertical
canceled.
line. Right
In
click,
Japan's Finance Minister Peter Yama
strategy,
says the G7 are expected to hold
highlight the
another meeting by the
breakout,
end of this
put
year.
the time back to 9. And if you scroll down to optional, show vertical line. That line I want removed. It just is annoying to me sometimes. Put the account back into the funded. Apply it. Make sure chart trader is on the same account. Turn it on. And now we're ready. Right. So this happened to Calvin. He missed the Bullinox email, and he's been reduced to begging for the account back. Now, my experience with Bullinox, pretty good company. They've been very nice to me. Real good tech support. They answer their emails like right away. Yeah, the
The
amount of
Japan
spam
earthquake being
is
announced here.
pretty
NHK says
unbelievable.
the initial magnitude is 7.2.
Yeah, the sale is just too much to
Tsunami
ignore.
advisory
Roz,
been
it's only
issued for parts of northern Japan, according to
$15.75.
NHK.
Calvin, what are you saying always works? Tell me what trade always works and I'll start trading it. Yeah, Frank, I can type it in for you. PTF 81. Yes, their activation is expensive. PTF 81, Frank. I don't know how I feel about the end of the day. They're more expensive, the end of the day. And that's the problem with my number of contracts. You can't trade as many contracts until you build it up. And it's only expensive if you don't pass. Yeah, I think I prefer end of day. So now, the YM, I said I was going to set up a YM VWAP. Let's see if the software will work. I'm still doing a lot of work on the software. I wish I was done. Not done yet. So this would be a custom level target the VWAP. Target the VWAP. I'm going to leave it default. Let me see if it works this morning. Not going to change anything except label it. Just one position, YM. Trade it in 29. So I'm targeting the VWAP. The stop is 35. apply it, okay it, turn it on. So if I turn it on, we get our order entry. Now, if we're trading the VWAP, the VWAP is our
Most
exit,
European housing markets are to see steady growth in prices
48,009.
in 2026.
Ideally, you probably want to get in under the previous open, but I'm just testing. So our target's the VWAP. It is correct. So if I turn it on automatic, if we get a move down from here and it goes down to under 20, then I'm looking for a test of the VWAP. Probably we should go for more ticks in the target. So if I want to go for more ticks in the target, instead of using the default of 3 ticks before it gets to the VWAP, let's put 8 more ticks in so it goes through the VWAP to the PP. Maybe it'll get to the PP. So our target. Now, it should have. Let me make a note. Putting it on automatic. So if the YM goes down, it's going to automatically trade it. Look at the MNQ went all the way to the VWAP. But ironically, the YM is more bullish than bearish this morning, I think. So we'll get our breakout on the NQ.
Traders price in a 20% chance of an ECB rate hike by the end of this year. That's by the end of next year. Again, traders pricing in 20% chance of ECB rate hike by the end of 2026. 1 minute now until we get the markets on open imbalance.
Now we had a VWAP reversal signal. It was not big because this candle, you wouldn't have taken advantage of it. But should it keep moving up from here, then it would be a good signal. Now, will the YM go down on the open? You know, it might burn us like it did last week.
10 seconds.
It may not go down. It might just fill us and pop up. It's possible.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Markets on open imbalance. S&P 500 sell side 25 million.
Order
Nasdaq
filled.
100 sell side 17 million.
So it
Dow
worked.
30 buy side of just 3 million. Mag 7 sell side
And
6
our
million.
MNQ is
Order
not
filled.
working, so we got an opposite MNQ. MNQ was fantastic on Friday and lousy today. And then the YM on the open, I cannot believe it was only at one tick. I can't believe I had it on the wrong charts again. I want to shoot myself because I didn't see what happened. Why it only gave us one tick. Now the MNQ is going up. Was today a day that you don't want to trade short? Maybe. I hate trying to outthink it, but I think maybe a bigger bracket might have made sense. It was pretty quiet before the open, and now it's bursting. So I'm tempted to take just a scalp to the
Netflix
long
shares
side,
down
but I
just
don't
sub
like
2%
chasing.
after Paramount makes a
I don't love
$108.4
chasing
billion bid for Warner Bros. Discovery.
when it's at the high. So I'm probably not going to do it.
According to
I'm
a
not
poll,
chasing it.
S&P to hold the policy rate at 0% on December
And
11th,
then the
according to
YM,
38 of 40
it
economists,
definitely did
to
not work
expect a 25
properly.
basis point cut.
There's no way
The
that could have
S&P
worked
also
properly.
expected to hold the policy rate at 0% by the end of next year, according to 21 of 25 economists, where 4 said that it would be cut 25 basis points.
Oh, NQ was better this morning. Is that what you're saying, Rob? YM is pushing down, pushing down. Again, it's at new lows. I don't like jumping into markets when they're at new lows and new highs. How do you know it's done making a new low? You don't. So you have to wait. In my opinion, I would wait. I'm going to download the YM data. I'm going to go to Tools, Historical Data, download the YM data, Market Replay. Today is the 8th. YM 1225. Download. The reason I want to download it is I want to run that trade again, the VWAP test, and see what happened. So I'm going to turn off my live. So there may be an opportunity for a short on the MNQ, but look, the MNQ is up 100 points also. It's not my favorite short trade when a market's up 100 points. The YM, here's that reversal I was talking about. Change in momentum. So just curious, the YM is struggling to do this particular reversal. Now, it was a little bit bullish before we started, right? YM was a little bit bullish before we started. All right, so before we go, I want to run that test. So the YM is doing the reversal. Where would you have gotten in? Where would you maybe have gotten in if you took it? This candle was the first signal. It's not a very big trade yet because I probably would not have entered on the red candle. And let's say you entered on the doji candle, which it's not quite a doji, but it's close. That's it's more movement than you think. It went from 12 to 38 at least. So 26 ticks. 26 ticks. Not terrible. That's not terrible. So let's run the replay. Let's see what happened. I'm not scalping on the NQ, MNQ. I don't want to kill that account. Right now I've got about 800 bucks of freedom in my MNQ market open account. Today it didn't work and I missed the pullback. All right. I've missed it. So I'm not going to scalp here now. I'm just not. The YM,
The US dollar extends gains against the
this
yen
was
after
not
the
a
Japanese
great
earthquake. Last up,
reversal
US spot
signal.
2% at
You did get a little bit of a
155.64 yen.
warning. You had the signal and then it changed back to red. That's a little bit of a heads up that maybe it's not going to be great, but then it did start working as a reversal at 9:35ish. It just wasn't huge. It was only about 26 ticks, we said. 26 ticks. All right, so going over to playback for a minute. Disconnect live. Turn on playback. Continue. Put both boxes in the tape recorder. Today's date, so they both get 12/8. And then we're going to go to, let me go to 9:27 in the morning. And the trade that I was trading was the YM targeting the VWAP. Okay. I was targeting the VWAP on the YM in the magnet strategy. The magnet's there. I'm going to do it on playback. Make sure your account's on playback or the trade won't work. The way that we set it up was we did a custom level targeting the VWAP. So our target was 8. It's already in there. We're targeting the VWAP. Our stop was 35. Now, I realize after I turned it on, I didn't really check anything. Now our entry would have been right around there. That's where we wanted our entry. I made it automatic. So let's press play and run the trade. Remember, there's that little bug in Ninja. Sometimes you have to enter the time twice. So I'm going to put 9:28 in AM. All right. We were entering right around there. We were automatic. I don't think that it's targeting properly. So my target offset is 8. So that means it should go 8 ticks through the VWAP, is what I thought. That's what I thought. So I'm not seeing that, so I have to talk to the programmer. Our target should be past the VWAP. Now, hang on a minute. I don't want any signals at the moment. So one more time, let's just, all I want to see is the trade, how the trade executed. That's all I want to see. And this guy, this is not even for you guys. I shouldn't waste your time on this because this is just confusing to all of you. I'm just testing the software. So let's call it a morning. Let's call it a morning. Let me go over what happened one more time. The MNQ, it just didn't work this morning. Didn't work. I'll tell you what. Let's download the MNQ data for a minute. Disconnect. Download the MNQ tools, historical data. Let me download the MNQ. Get market replay. 12.8. MNQ. Let me put our trade back on. The MNQ breakout this morning. Let me load the template. I want to see if a bigger bracket might have helped. So I'm looking for my MNQ open. Using a bigger bracket. It's got to be on playback. Okay, so I downloaded the data, got to read this, got to connect playback. Put the date in the box, 12/8. Right click in the blank spot and put the time, 9:29. I'm not even going to bother with the YM, folks. That's my own testing. I don't want to waste your time on it. 9:29, 30 on the MNQ. I want to see what might have made a difference on that trade this morning. $9.29.30. Turn on the breakout. Make sure it's on playback in the account, or you won't do anything. Not on sim, but on playback. Apply it, okay it. Turn it on just like it was real trade. Press play. All right, in 20 seconds we'll get our orders. We're not looking at this clock anymore. We're using the clock that's part of the replay. It might have been the stop size today, not the bracket, right?
Order
But you're
submitted.
talking NQ, right?
Order filled.
So the bracket's still filled, but not by that much. Not by that much. It just
Order
really
filled.
reversed. I mean, look, the reality is it reversed this morning. That's the reality. Normally, we don't use a 70 bracket. Normally, we don't use a 70 bracket, right? Putting a 70 in the bracket, I think it would have worked this morning, but it's not usually what we use. Maybe we can, honestly.
Japan regulator says no
So
issue
putting
with
it back to
validity on Nagawa nuclear power plants following the
929.45
7.2
with a bigger
magnitude earthquake.
bracket. Run the trade again.
Order submitted.
There's the bracket. See, the bigger bracket didn't fill on the downside.
Order submitted.
And it goes up.
Order
And
filled.
doesn't it test the high? You can speed up a playback with these little arrows over here.
Order filled.
So that was the problem this morning, the bracket. But, where do you stop? Where do you stop? I think 70 is not an unreasonable bracket on an MNQ market open. That's not unreasonable because you get a lot of movement on the market open where you're not necessarily leaving all your profit in that bracket. So it might be that going forward, a little bit bigger bracket would make sense. All right. And I agree with Arthur. You got the Fed. It's a week to be extra careful. All right. So I want to close out our stream. Thanks for watching us on YouTube. Appreciate it. We made money on our oil open. We got stopped on our MNQ open. And then the YM, I'm testing the software. That I don't know what happened there. I got to look at it. So everyone, have a good rest of your day. And thank you on YouTube. Hit the like button if you would. We'll be streaming